Okay, champs, as you know, I got 100 platinums very recently, and I thought I'd go through the statistics of my 100 platinums. And I was looking at my trophy list on PSN profiles, and it kind of dawned on me that it went through various different stages. So I've broken down my 100 platinums into 5 different stages that are all a bit different and kind of show the journey of maybe a trophy hunter beginning out. So first and foremost, let's get some stats out the way. So 100 platinums took me between November 2021 and April 2024. So that was 30 months and exactly 2.5 years. So it took me 2.5 years to get to 100 platinums. That averages out to about 3.3 platinums a month, which not too bad. Most platinums I got in 1 month was 12. And that was early on. I'll show you in the second stage, and I'm never ever going to repeat that or even beat that. My rarest platinum, according to PSN profiles, is Doom Eternal. Very rare, 5.60%. Yes, I still don't have an ultra rare platinum. We'll work on that in the years to come. My longest platinum was one of my favorites, actually, and that was Batman Arkham Knight, which took me 6 years and 6 months. That isn't a case of the platinum itself took me 6.5 years. I played it when it on release. I think I got about 60% of the trophies, and again, didn't know anything about trophy hunting. I should have really got that first. But anyway, then I came back to it and platinumed it. So that's that. And then my shortest platinum is Arog, which took me 25 minutes. My hardest platinum rating, I've gone by PSN profiles, is 6 out of 10, which kind of makes sense. I don't really do hard games, or like super hard games. So yeah, 6 out of 10. I think that was Wolfenstein: The New Order, Red Dead Redemption 1, Resident Evil 4, although I will say a disclaimer, on PlayStationTrophies.org, Resident Evil 4 is rated a 7 out of 10, but we'll stick with 6 out of 10. And then a random stat is 23 out of my 100 platinums are first-person shooter games. I just thought that might be interesting. And then we've got most platinums in a series. I'd be interested to know if you can guess which series has the most platinums. I'm sure there's one you'll probably all pick if you've watched the channel for a long time, but actually there are 3 series that are tying. So I've got 7 platinums in 3 of these series, and they are Uncharted, Far Cry, and of course, Resident Evil. All 3 of those series, to be fair, include 1 repeated platinum. But yeah, I don't think I can get any more Uncharted platinums unless I play Uncharted 1 on the PS3, which I don't plan to. Far Cry, I could try Far Cry 2 on the PS3, but it's quite a long platinum. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but I'll wait for the next one. And then yeah, Resident Evil, I've got a few more still to do, so that will hopefully eventually become my most platinum series over the course of this year. And then lastly, repeated platinums. I've got 6 in total. So this is the case of once I finally got my PS5, I realized that I could download a PS5 version of the game and then just do that again. So I did Far Cry 6 again. I did It Takes Two again with my wife because that's a great co-op game. The Callisto Protocol, I platinumed that twice. And then Resident Evil Village is a platinum that I've repeated. The only Resident Evil so far. I love that game and I just felt like doing it, but I'm going to do more repeats in the future. Hitman 3 was a repeated platinum, and also the game where I tragically learned what auto popping is because I loaded up Hitman 3 on the PS5 and 85% of the trophies popped automatically, which kind of screwed up the whole plan because I really wanted to play through the game again, and in the end, yeah, it was just messy. I had to get these random trophies that didn't pop from random levels. It was so annoying. And then Uncharted 4, I did the Legacy of Thieves collection, which is the PS5 remaster. We have to do 2 games to get 1 platinum, by the way. Yeah, those are the stats of my 100 platinums. Let's head over to PSN profiles and go through this list and break down the 5 stages of my 100 platinums. All right, so we start at the beginning, and basically this is stage 1, and I'll call this the stage of innocence. This took over the period November 2021 to February 2022. It resulted in 14 platinums, all on the PS4. And yeah, this was literally when I was starting off, and I got my first one on Far Cry 6. From then on, I think I remember Hitman 3, which had just come out that year. I left it on like 87%, and I went back and platinumed that. And then my first game that from the get-go, from when I first started it, I went in with the intent of getting the platinum, was Days Gone, which is probably why I have such a big soft spot for it. But yeah, this period I was just playing games. I didn't have that mentality of trying to platinum every game that I played. I was still just kind of figuring it out. I didn't realize the trophy community was so huge on like YouTube and Reddit and online. I was still learning which websites to go through. I was still trying to understand how to read a guide, all these things, and farming and boosting and collectibles and the whole culture of it. I was still very much like learning and trying to figure out. So I was still playing games. Like, for example, Jedi Fallen Order was a game that was, I think, on sale at the time, and I got it, and I just played. I didn't go in trying to platinum it, and then only halfway through I thought, oh, maybe I could try it. And then also I'd go back and started to try and finish more games I platinumed. So Far Cry 5 was one where I think I had multiplayer trophies, so I thought I'd go back and platinum that. I did a Call of Duty, my only Call of Duty platinum. I did a Telltale game, and then underrated game. By the way, guys, I never really see this on trophy lists I review, but Rage 2 is a good game. If you can get this on sale, it's a first-person shooter, open world. The story is nothing special. The open world isn't the most interesting, but it's a fun game. Excuse me. A really fun game if you like first-person shooters. Then I did Ratchet and Clank, and then we enter Stage 2, which I would say is the stage of addiction. Stage 2 is only a few months. It's February 2022 to April 2022. Again, all platinums on the PS4. This took me from platinum 15 to 33, so altogether it was about 19 platinums. And this was where I think I got really into it and started to find kind of obscure games and started to get really into like my stats and enjoying watching that number rise, the platinum number, and just really banging out platinums. This is the stage that has the month where I did 12 platinums. So as you can see, it's kind of a real mixed bag of games. A lot of like easy platformer type games, and yeah, you'll see like Shady Part of Me, which isn't a bad game, by the way. It's pretty good. I've got the Spyro trilogy died around this stage. Inked, which is, a nice simple little platformer, 1 day platinum. I did It Takes Two with my wife, which is really fun. Last Campfire again, 1 day. Adam's Venture Origins, 1 day. Not a great game. Not a good game, but hey ho. Terminator Resistance again, I did in a day. Spyro, A Way Out. So we did It Takes Two, so I went back to A Way Out. Another Telltale game. I think this is my first, you could say this is my first shovelware game. So this was Iroh Hero. So disappointed with this. Yeah, I think I finished Wolf Among Us and I was grinding away at Spider-Man. And I think I was probably getting a bit bored of the whole finishing each district, getting your backpacks, photos, all that. It does get quite repetitive, the Spider-Man Platinum. And so I was just looking at kind of, I don't know, like quick, short platinums. And again, at this stage, I didn't really know the term shovelware. So I got this game and I looked it up online. It looked like Space Raider type game, which it is. But you know it's shovelware when you don't even have to finish the game to get the platinum. So... and you can do it really quickly. I'm not quite sure why it took me so long. Like this is, as it says, an hour. This is a really quick platinum. I don't know how I ended up dragging this out and taking so long. Blair Witch, Far Cry 4 I went back and finished. Far Cry 3 was good. Sea of Solitude, Batman Enemy Within, Kona. So, kind of a lot of 1 day games. A lot of games that you can just kind of churn out in 1 day. You know what you're doing and maybe use a collectible guide. And if you're interested, I might have to zoom out, but this is, yeah, starting from Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, all the way to Kona. This is the 12 platinums in 1 month, which was just mental. I think Spyro 2 I just finished on the first day of the month. A Way Out is literally a 2-day game. Wolf Among Us is quick. Iroh Hero, as I said, is, you know, a 1 hour platinum. Spider-Man played all the way through that month. Blair Witch was quick. Far Cry 4 was just cleaning up trophies like multiplayer, co-op. Spyro 3 I finished quickly. Far Cry I started from scratch that month but finished it quickly. And then these 3 were just 1-day games that I did back to back. I mean, you can see here 23rd March, 24th March, 25th March, 26th March. This was just, yeah, addiction, just churning out platinums. And then we get on to stage 3, which is the biggest stage actually out of my trophy list. And I would call this kind of like the prime peak trophy hunting stage. So this covered April 2022 all the way to June 2023. And the big difference with this stage was it involves more consoles. So by now I got my PS5. And during this period, I also finally picked up a PS Vita for the first time. And I used to have a PS3, but I gave it to a cousin in a different country. And so I picked up a secondhand PS3 because I really wanted to do Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So in this stage, we go from platinums 34 to 79, cover about 46 platinums, which is nearly the half of the trophy list. We got 20 PS5 platinums, 19 PS4 platinums, 2 on the PS3, and 5 Vita platinums, all 5 of my Vita platinums, in fact. So yeah, this was a good period where I kind of stepped it up a little bit, started to play better games after this kind of mixed period of like platformers and 1-day platinums. So this is the period where I did the Uncharted series, did the whole trilogy back to back, absolutely loved it. Did Uncharted 4, which at that time was comfortably my hardest platinum. Probably because I made the big mistake of playing my first playthrough on crushing difficulty, which, guys, don't do that. If you're playing Uncharted 4 for the first time, don't play on crushing difficulty. It was a lot harder than I thought, because I did that with 3 and 2. I went straight in on crushing and it was okay. But 4, yeah, you want to enjoy that story. You want to enjoy that game. It's very cinematic. So yeah, I kind of regret doing that, but it is what it is. Yeah, I got my first Vita game as well, Uncharted Golden Abyss, which I'm really happy about. I got another one, Resistance Burning Skies. Then I'm going between PS5, PS4. There's Far Cry 6, my first repeated platinum, because I had the PS5 version. Couple more Vita. Got my 50th platinum in one of my favorite and proudest platinums. That's Batman Arkham Knight. That then probably at this time, that and Uncharted 4 were my 2 hardest platinums. Then we did Doom, Stray, Middle Earth, good game. This is Hitman 3. This is that auto pop mess, honestly. Really wound me up, that did. And then finally it's really annoying. I only have 2 PS3 platinums because obviously PS3 is the platform that the platinum started on, and loads of people have like loads of PS3 platinums, and I think possibly that console has the most platinums in total because it had so many games. But yeah, I only have 2. I should really kind of go back and kind of reconnect my PS3. But yeah, this is the reason I got my PS3, because I really wanted to play some of the old Metal Gear Solid games, which now you can do anyway on the PS5, PS4, because they released the Master Collection last year. But yeah, I really wanted this platinum. This at the time was like, I was so proud of this. This is one of my happiest platinums. It's not difficult at all, but it's just something I really wanted to do. Resistance 3, underrated platinum. This is quite a good platinum. I don't know what the rating is on the trophy guide, but I think it's at least a 5 out of 10, maybe more. It was, yeah, that was a good one. And then carried on. And then also in this period, I played my first ever Resident Evil game and got my first Resident Evil Platinum, which then started a whole massive love affair with this game series. Which again is great because, trophy hunting kind of led me to playing this game, and I absolutely fell in love, and now I can't stop playing those games. So there's Doom Eternal, which is my most rarest platinum, and a platinum that changed things for me because they have about 5 or 6 multiplayer trophies, which are a real grind. And I tried to arrange boosting sessions and it just took ages. That's why this game took me 2 months. It was just so hard to arrange boosting sessions with people in different time zones. There's one guy I was playing with, I think he got his trophies and he went a bit quiet on us, and I was kind of had to keep messaging him to say, can you come back and help us? And yeah, this was the game that put me off multiplayer trophies, to the point where I can't think of many games that I've done since then, if any, that have multiplayer trophies. I really got put off with single player games that have multiplayer trophies. So yeah, the day after I finished that, I had such a kind of bitter taste in my mouth that I found like an easy platinum, Arog, which is a nice little indie platformer. I think I found out about it through maybe Platinum Chasers YouTube channel. I just did that just to I don't know, just to kind of a palate cleanser maybe, or just to move past this platinum. It really annoyed me, Doom Eternal. And then we carry on. Then we play our next Resident Evil game, which was awesome. A game I didn't think I'd platinum because I looked at the trophy guide and I was so baffled. Before I'd even played the game, I was so confused when they were like, do this in Leon A scenario, go to Claire B scenario. I was so confused. I was like, okay, let's leave the platinum, let's just play the game. But after 1 or 2 playthroughs, I thought, yeah, I can do this. So yeah, this was 2023. We're into 2023 now. Played, yeah, a few kind of small, short platinums. I remember at the point I really wanted to get to 100 platinums in 2023. That became my goal and my aim. And by this stage, I was probably on around 60 odd platinums around here. So I thought, you know, I've done 60 platinums in a year before, so I thought I could do 40. Dead Space remake, awesome one, really like that. And then I think my last Vita platinum was Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, which is now over a year ago, so I do definitely need to go back and do a Vita platinum. That's definitely one of the aims this year. In this period should be Resident Evil 4, my beloved Resi 4, but because I did the DLC, it's gone up later in the trophy list. And then we finished this stage 3, the kind of peak prime stage, with Resident Evil Village, which is definitely one of my favorite platinums, one of my proudest. And then we go on to stage 4. Stage 4 is the stage of shame, the stage of greed. Stage 4 only covers 12 platinums. It's platinums number 80 to 91. Now, if any of you got 100 platinums, you might have had the same thing as me, which is around late 70s, early 80s platinums. You really want to get to 100 quite quickly. And we were halfway through the year and I realized, I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to get to 100 platinums. And I just started playing some really just bad games that I'm not proud of. I didn't even enjoy. Like, I popped the platinum and I was like, bang, move on to the next one. Yeah, and this period was 6 PS5 games, 6 PS4 games. It was June 2023 to August 2023, so it's just the summer, but it wasn't a good period. So we have Omno, which is not bad. It's quite a nice little platformer. It's the type of game I would have played back in stage 2. It's not one that I don't regret it, but I guess I just did do it just to get the number up rather than enjoy the game. A Plague Tale was fine. I really enjoyed this and I'm looking forward to playing the sequel, Requiem, so I had no problem with this. This was a nice platinum. Tacoma was okay. It was a first person kind of exploration puzzler type game. Don't be fooled by this. It's not that short. I used a guide that helped me at certain points, and the guide made it in a certain way that you popped all the trophies at the end. So the game took me about 3-4 hours. It's not a short platinum, in case you think that. But well, it is a short platinum, but not that short. Then there's this DC League of Super Pets: The Adventures of Crypto and Ace. I mean, the name just says it all. It's a kid's game. I don't know if this counts as shovelware. Let me know in the comments. I think if you're maybe an adult like me playing this to get platinum, maybe it is shovelware, probably. It probably is. But yeah, it's like 12 or 13 levels. They're all the same. You do the same thing each level. It's literally just a 2-hour platinum. And yeah, as you can see, I was just trying to churn through the numbers because I finished Plague Tale on the 23rd of June and then did these two probably in the afternoon, evening, which was just me desperately trying to up the platinum number to get close to 100, which I'm not sure why, because there's no race to it or anything. It's not particularly healthy. Deliver Us Mars I like. I'm a big fan of these games. There's Deliver Us the Moon and Deliver Us Mars. They're both really good third person action adventure exploration games. No combat or anything, but they're very good games. They look great. Then I did Callisto Protocol again. You know, again, that came to me as a kind of way of an easy platinum. I know the game already. I can do New Game Plus and just rush through it. So that again was to get the numbers up, but I didn't mind it. And then yeah, there's these three. These three are just awful. Like this is trash. I don't even remember it well. There's a few here that I get mixed up, but Insomnius, I think I remember. It's like a wannabe Resident Evil kind of game. It has no combat in it whatsoever, but you can tell they're influenced by it. It's set in this mansion. You have to do certain puzzles. It's kind of got the vibe of a lot of Resident Evil games mixed in together. But yeah, and again, three platinums in one day. So in close proximity, the most platinums I've ever done in a day are 2, and it's normally coincidence. It's normally like I finished 2 games that I've been working on happen on the same day. Like I did that with Uncharted by coincidence. But these were games I started and finished pretty much the same day. But yeah, normally I'd be quite proud of that, but not really. So yeah, again, these three back to back in the same day is just a bit desperate, really. Just trying to get the number up. Creepy Tale's not too bad. There is quite a bit of gameplay in it, but again, look how short it is. So yeah, I'm not gonna defend it. In Rays of Light is this first person exploration kind of game. You saw puzzles and stuff. Yeah, not proud of these at all. Really, I didn't like it. And even when I did them, I didn't really get the same feeling when the platinum popped as I did when, you know, I played Arkham Knight or recently Ragnarok or Hitman. Do you know what I mean? So it's just not worth it. Really not worth it. This is a decent game. I really recommend this. I think I included it in one of my old videos of 5 games to platinum within 20 hours. A lot of people think this game is bugged, and I think they fixed that because I had no issue. And I played it through over 2 days, and I really loved it. It's a really solid game. It's an excellent game. Third person, action adventure, sci-fi setting, the usual few collectibles, boss battles, a few combat trophies. Very good. I highly recommend this. Really highly recommend it if you can get it on sale or PS Plus. And then yeah, this game was so crap. Evil Inside, I remember it, and it was really weird and confusing. So in the end, I had to actually use a guide because I just didn't want to spend 4 or 5 hours on it trying to figure it out. I just wanted to get it done, which is just very, very unhealthy. It's not a healthy way to do platinums, think about platinums. Then I did Effie, which if you like Spyro, I think you'll like Effie. Effie's not a bad game. It's meant to be 4 hours, but it took me a lot longer. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a little action adventure platformer with some really good platforming parts in the game. There's some combat. It's kind of a funny, quirky story. It's quite a good game. Visually really nice as well. I highly recommend it. I think I saw it on a sale and I saw footage of it online. I thought this looks pretty cool. So yeah, I wouldn't call this like a trash platinum. I didn't have no issue with this, but this is more of a game I would have done in stage 2. So yeah, that was the end of stage 4, the shame stage. And luckily I learned from that, because stage 5 is the stage that I would say is the return to form stage, and a stage I'm quite proud of and a stage I'm still in. So this is platinums 92 to 100 plus, 9 platinums, 4 on the PS5, 5 on the PS4. And this is quite a long period because this goes from September 2023 all the way to now, to April 2024 or May. And in this, we've got some good games. So Wolfenstein The New Order, ignore Resi 4 because that's just there because I did Separate Ways DLC. So Wolfenstein The New Order, Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is not a hard platinum, but I didn't have an Assassin's Creed game, so I'm glad that I got that on the trophy list. I did Village again because I just really liked it, and I think I did it over 3 months, so I started playing it probably at the end of this bad stage, just to kind of enjoy myself again. I did Red Dead Redemption 1, which I'm very proud of, and a very doable platinum on the PS4 because there's no multiplayer trophy, so you don't have to do boosting or anything. Really recommend that. RoboCop Rogue City, yeah, not a bad platinum, but just a below average game. I think I mentioned it at the time on one of my community posts. And then Division 2, which I'm really proud of, really enjoyed it. Played about 50% of this with my friend Platinum Vault, who has an awesome YouTube channel. And then one of my proudest platinums, easily, no question about it, which is Resident Evil 1. For some of you that were like me, where you've played the other Resi games, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which are more modern and kind of what you expect from a modern game. If you've watched footage of this and you see the fixed camera angles and the controls of the D-pad and you just think this is too tricky to master or too difficult, trust me, I had the same thoughts. And I went into Resident Evil not thinking I was going to platinum it. I just went into it thinking, as a fan, I really want to play number 1 just to see where the story began, and just to complete that. But I played number 1, got completely baffled by it, totally confused. Forgot there's no checkpoints or saves, so you have to save at the typewriter. So I think I died 40 minutes into my first playthrough. Went to the main menu hoping there'd be a continue, and it was just new game, and I was like, oh my god. So there's a big steep learning curve, but I assure you, if you use a guide in certain places, or if you use a guide for the whole time, you can definitely get this platinum 100%. I used a guide a lot of the time because it was hard for me to figure out the mansion. It was like a big maze. Sometimes you weren't sure what items to pick up and stuff, but once you get the hang of it, after maybe 2 playthroughs, you can definitely, get this platinum. This is definitely one of my proudest platinums, no question about it. And one of my harder ones. And then we did Jedi Survivor, which I didn't like the platinum on this. The game wasn't bad. I didn't like the platinum on this, but I think maybe I'll talk more about that when I do a tier list of my platinums. Then we come to number 100, which was an absolute banger, as you all know, God of War Ragnarok, which I was really proud of. A series that I've struggled with in the past to get platinums, and then it was just the right game, the right time, the right moment. It was just perfect, A game I never once considered to be my 100th platinum, but it just happened organically, and I'm really happy about that, and I really loved it, really enjoyed the game. Was quite surprised. And with stage 5, a nice return to form. I'd say these 8 or 9 games are probably the best kind of series of platinums I have in a row, if that makes sense. I think it's, for my trophy list, it's a really good run. Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Red Dead Redemption, Village, Division 2, Resident Evil, Jedi Survivor, Ragnarok. They're kind of like good versatile games, like an online co-op looter shooter, a game from 1996 with tank controls and fixed camera angles, a horror, 2 big sequels that are kind of linear open world action adventure games with great stories. Well, one of them has a great story. Red Dead's obviously a classic. So this was a good run. And I hope to continue it. I've still got I've got games that I bought and downloaded from PS Plus that are games that I'd call from stage 2, like those short platformers, 1-day platinums, which I might get back to eventually, but right now I'm enjoying this run and return to form that I'm kind of on. I continued with Hitman Absolution, which was a nice platinum, and I'm happy I did it because I played so much of it on the PS3. So I got the platinum on the PS4 and really enjoyed it. So stage 4 was a bad stage, and stage 5 was a nice return to form. So that is the list of 100 platinums broken down into 5 stages. I think now that I've reached 100 or 101, I think my biggest piece of advice is don't just don't just platinum like crap games that you're just doing just to get the platinum up. Like, I think you should only platinum a game if you really like the game, or you really like the platinum and what it's asking you to do and the challenge it presents. I don't think you should just do games just to get the numbers up, because in the end you won't be happy with it. Trust me, you won't. And you'll even notice it as soon as you pop the platinum. When you just do a game just to go from platinum 77 to 78 to 79 to 80, whatever, you'll notice it. You won't have the same feeling of happiness, the same kind of platinum euphoria. Yeah, I do regret this era, this period, but that was just me really trying my hardest to get to 100 platinums last year. Again, for no reason. I'm not sure why I was trying to rush it. And in the end, it worked out quite well. When I began trophy hunting, I had this streak that happened organically, but then I became obsessed about, which was getting a platinum every month. And normally not just one, like a few. And thankfully that ended in December. So I got platinum in November, which was Robocop Rogue City. Well, I got a few in November actually. And then December, for various reasons, I couldn't get a platinum. And they kind of didn't want to as well. So I was glad. That was a nice thing. I was glad that streak broke. And it's kind of continued. Like, I didn't get a platinum in March this year. Ended up getting 2 in April somehow by coincidence. And yeah, now I'm not stressed out, trying my best to platinum a game every month. I'm just kind of enjoying it and picking what I want to play more carefully. So I think that's been really my lesson from the 100 platinums is play what you enjoy, platinum what you enjoy, and what's a challenge to you. Don't just do it just for the sake of it and kind of do crappy games that you'll never remember, or when you look back on your trophy list you might regret. So that's been my biggest lesson for sure. And other than that, play what you enjoy, platinum what you enjoy for sure. This trophy list is for you and you only. It's not for other people. It's not a competition. It's just for you to have fun. So yeah, we end with 101 platinums now, 522 gold, 1,027 silvers, 3,081 bronze. I'm level 403. My completion percentage has gone up. I'm not that fussed about it, but yeah, I'm at 62.22%. Trophies have gone up 0.96 a day. I think when I began trophy hunting it was much less. This doesn't change. This is my country rank. In the beginning, in stage 1 and 2, I was quite obsessed with this. I think I started off on like 20 something thousand, and I was obsessed about this growing and getting more. But now I've reached 13,000 ages ago, and I just tend to hang around here. And this is the first time in ages it's gone up a little bit. But yeah, I'm not fussed about it, but I would like to get in the top 10,000 of the UK. That'd be quite nice on PSN profiles, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. Hopefully it will happen organically. But yeah, so those are platinums 1 to 100 and the 5 stages. Hope that you've taken something away from this video, and most of all enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for being part of the journey and enjoying this. And now we're on the path to 200. I don't know how long it will take. I'm in no rush, but yeah, let's start working towards 200 platinums and maybe some more harder games and challenging myself a bit more, and working on some more bigger games that I've kind of put aside because I was rushing to 100. Maybe now I can focus on those much more bigger, harder platinums. So let's see what the next stage of the journey is. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching and being part of the channel, and see you on the next video, hopefully very soon.